Good afternoon. It's an honor for us at the University of Kentucky to serve as host for another event that signifies the commitment this Commonwealth has to providing access to high-quality health care for more Kentuckians. Before we begin, I do want to recognize a couple of folks who bear special recognition that they're with us this afternoon. Senator Reggie Thomas, Representative Russ Meyer, and Representative George Brown. Thank you for all you do for the Commonwealth and certainly for the University of Kentucky. To provide an official welcome this afternoon, I'd like to call on someone who has spent his life committed to health care and ensuring that those most in need of the most complex care have access to it. Dr. Michael Karpf is UK's Executive Vice President for Health Affairs, and during his more than 10 years here, UK healthcare has undergone a virtually unprecedented expansion in size and quality. Dr. Karpf?
Thank you, Jay. And I'd like to welcome and thank you folks for joining us this afternoon at UK Healthcare to express our appreciation to Governor Beshear, Senator Wise, Representative Harris, and the other members of the legislature for passing Senate Bill 82, the Pediatric Cancer Research Trust Fund, during the recent legislative session. I think if you just look around the room and see all these young folks, this is not our usual kind of press conference. You see how important this bill is. Okay. We are committed to trying to provide the highest level care for the most complex patients, and both for adults and particularly for children. We're putting a tremendous amount of energy into making Kentucky Children's Hospital a premier pediatric program. We've made a lot of progress under Dr. Carmel Wallace, and certainly the oncology program under Dr. Lars Wagner is a critical component of that. To me, there's also a personal interest here. Many years ago when I started medical school, I was going to be a pediatrician, and I ended up being an oncologist. And so this is sort of seeing the two of them come together and seeing these young people and what it means for us to be able to help these families is absolutely extraordinary. We appreciate the support we've gotten, and we are committed to continue to strive for the very best care for Kentuckians, no matter what their problems are. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karp. Our next speaker has served as governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky for nearly 8 years. Among his many accomplishments has been the bold decision and leadership to expand access to affordable health care to hundreds of thousands of Kentuckians, including some of the most vulnerable in our state. The Honorable Steve Beshear.
Thank you all very much. It is a fun day, an exciting day, and a very meaningful day with what we're going to be doing here. You know, the 2015 session of the Kentucky General Assembly was very successful in so many ways. Not only with the progress made in a lot of high-profile legislation like the heroin legislation or the dating violence legislation, but also passing some very meaningful legislation that a lot of people never heard about. And we're here today to make sure that you hear about Senate Bill 82. We're going to be ceremonially signing Senate Bill 82 here today because it was a little change in the law that is going to have a very big impact. As we all know, the first thing it does is creates an opportunity for Kentuckians to donate part of their income tax refund to a newly created Pediatric Cancer Research Trust Fund by using a checkbox on the state's individual income tax return form. The fund will be administered by the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, and it will be used for both the study and the treatment of pediatric cancer. Every child deserves to live a healthy, active life, but for many children battling cancer, this is a challenge and sometimes just a dream. Unfortunately, cancer is the second leading cause of death in children. In the 5-year period that began in 2008, an average of about 200 kids a year in Kentucky, ages 19 or younger, were diagnosed with cancer. Nationwide, according to a different source, over 10,000 kids under age 15 will be diagnosed this year alone. Look, I'm a cancer survivor, and I know the toll that this disease takes on you and your family, even when you're an adult. So to be a kid and to go through this, I mean, the toll on that child and that family is really a struggle and is really meaningful and a tough time. So this checkoff is a small step that we've taken to try to alleviate that suffering, and I'm very proud to sign it into law today. I want to thank its sponsors, Senator Max Wise. Max has had a little personal experience in this area himself, and all the people like you who worked so hard and lobbied so hard to get this passed. All of us have a special reason for working on this kind of bill. You know, the second thing that this bill does, even more good work, is it amends our law to create a trust fund and add a checkoff box to support rape crisis centers in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And obviously, the support that those folks, those victims need is well known. People work so hard to give that support to rape victims, and to be able to create somewhat of a funding source to support our rape crisis centers in Kentucky is a great thing. And Representative Chris Harris, who is here and you will hear from, sponsored that part of this bill. And these bills passed, and this bill passed, because of the work of all these folks that you see here. And it's a real partnership in Frankfort. We have been able to bring Democrats and Republicans together and make sure that they remember that they're Kentuckians first and Democrats and Republicans second. And when we do that, good things happen. And this is one of them.
Thank you, Governor. Our next speaker has a deep personal interest in and commitment to this legislation, as the Governor mentioned, and his efforts helped make it possible. Senator Max Wise was the sponsor of Senate Bill 82. He's from Campbellsville, where he teaches at Campbellsville University and also teaches at my favorite university, the University of Kentucky. Senator Wise.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you to everyone for being here today, and Governor, thank you for the introduction on Senate Bill 82. As the Governor mentioned, it would not be possible if it was not for bipartisan effort on this bill. And this is a bill that is truly going to make a lasting impression across the Commonwealth of Kentucky for numerous Kentucky families, families like my own, families like Jamie Ennis Bloyd, families like the Markhams, and the thousands of other Kentucky families right now that are either seeking treatment or may one day hear the terrible news that your child has cancer. And we hope, with a great team of doctors, researchers, and oncologists across this great Commonwealth of Kentucky and also beyond, that a parent will one day unfortunately hear the news your child has cancer, but it's followed behind, but we have a cure. And I truly think we will get there one day, because with the technology that we have and the great spirit that we have here in the United States, there is no doubt that we will see treatment take place. And this bill is a start. It's not a finish, but it is at least a start to being the first bill in the Commonwealth of Kentucky to address pediatric cancer. As Mr. Blanton mentioned, I do have a family story, and fortunately I'm very blessed that my 8-year-old son Carter is here today with me, who's a survivor of stage 4 neuroblastoma when he was 6 months of age. And if it was not by the grace of God and prayer and a wonderful team of doctors in Kentucky, that I'm very fortunate to be here as a cancer dad and to see this bill become a reality of what we had to deal with. And the families that are also here today, Paxton Bloyd and Eli Markham, that are either going through treatment and are also today getting to be little boys. That's what we want our children to be. We want them to play youth baseball. We want our little girls to be able to go to prom. We want our children to go off to college. And it's bills like this and research that we're doing here at the University of Kentucky and at our other great universities, our other great hospitals across the Commonwealth, to give families those opportunities to let children be children. I thank everyone who was involved in this. I thank Representative Harris for the work that was also done in the House of making this a truly bipartisan bill to help all of our Kentucky families. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, Senator. As the governor mentioned, another key player in this process has been Representative Chris Harris. Representative Harris is from Forest Hills in Martin County. He's a graduate of the University of Kentucky who practices law in Pike County. Representative Harris.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you, Governor, for those remarks. It's great being back on the campus of my alma mater. A lot has changed since I was here running between the Funkhauser building and the classroom building back in 1993. To see the changes that have happened at Hagen Hall and K. Lair are just amazing. And I've spent some time on campus today, and it's just great, some of the great things that are going on here at the state's flagship university. Senate Bill 82, I also I want to echo what Senator Wise said just a minute ago about what a great bipartisan effort this was. This bill had been read its last rites both in both chambers, in the Senate and the House. And we continued to work, we continued to talk, we continued to work together to come to eventually a conference committee that worked out an agreement on the last night and was able to pass both the Senate and the House. And it's a true joy and a pleasure to be part of such a bipartisan bill. What this bill does, in addition to the pediatric cancer, which is an awesome thing, it also creates a trust fund for the support and benefit of Kentucky's 13 rape crisis centers across the Commonwealth. And what these centers do, these centers provide support and guidance and help to victims of rape crisis, of rape, both on campuses and in communities across the Commonwealth. This trust fund will be administered by the Secretary and will be made available and assist those 13 rape crisis centers all across Kentucky, and it'll be a great help to them provide not only the service, but to get out the message of what services that these crisis centers do provide. And it's going to be a joy for me to sit back and watch in the years to come as this trust fund continues to grow, the many people, women and men alike, who are helped by this fund. I want to say a special thank you to the Kentucky Rape Crisis Centers and those Representative KSAP who are here today, Gretchen Hunt and Eileen Rechtenwald. Thank you all for the work that you have done on this bill. You worked hard and helped us in both chambers get that done, and appreciate all your hard work too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Our final speaker probably knows more about the importance of this issue than anyone. He's the Chief of Pediatric Hematology Oncology at Kentucky Children's Hospital's Dance Blue Hematology Oncology Clinic, Dr. Lars Wagner.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the Dance Blue Pediatric Hematology Oncology Clinic here at UK, as well as our colleagues at Beshear Children's in Louisville, I really wanted to express our deep appreciation to the legislators and to the advocates that were responsible for getting this bill passed. These are the guys you want on your side. You are pit bulls for this, and I really appreciate all of your hard work in getting this done. Research has allowed pediatric oncology to be one of the great success stories in modern medicine, such that 4 out of 5 children with newly diagnosed cancer are now expected to be long-term survivors. However, we've got a lot of work to do. Much work remains to be done, as cancer is still one of the leading causes of disease-related death in children. And we're eager to continue this fight through basic science and clinical research, trying to push the envelope and continue to develop even more effective therapies for the children that we care for. This bill is also a good example of the strong community support that exists in Kentucky for children in need. We stick together, We work hard. We keep pressing on towards that day when children are no longer dying of this terrible disease. So thanks again for all of your efforts and support. We really greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Governor, I think we're going to sign a bill.
Let's sign a bill. Come on. Come on. Everybody who played a part in this, come on up here. Let's get everybody in the picture. Get the Red Cross people out there too. Yeah. Get them on. Senator Alvarado has joined us. Oops. Okay, first of all, now let's look out here and get our picture made. Okay. All right, you think we ought to sign this now? Right here, okay?
Always watching.
How about that?
That's how it's done.
I don't think the legislature wants to mind at all.
No.
We got everybody. It's up.
I think we're good.
Come on. Come on, don't. We'll get more bids.
We're good.
Everybody good?
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody good? Here, Chris. Max. Go. Lars. You got one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, we got plenty. You just deposited $82 million into the rainy day funds.
They're very fancy pens.
Anybody else here? Okay.
I better take one home for Harper too. Yeah, I'll get one for Harper too.
Who else? One more for doing at home. All right. Good. Oh, you can have one. You want one? Okay. All right. Everybody else get one? All right. Great.
We'll fix it. I think we broke it.
All right.
There you go. There we go. Floyd.
I'm Reggie Thomas. Yeah, I think I'm into a health and welfare committee meeting.
Yeah.